Hello everybody and welcome to the GMS Magazine channel. I am Paco Garcia, your host, and this is Taiko, my familiar. And today I bring you a review of Nightscape Red Terrors. It's a game that I unbooked a little while ago, and it showed an awful lot of promise for bringing a huge amount of content in a very, very small, easy to read and quick to read book. But has it actually lived up to expectations once I have fully read it? I am about to tell you. Welcome to the GMS Magazine RPG review videos. Nightscape Red Terrors is very attractive to me because it promises to bring a full game in this, which is just over 40 pages, which is nothing really. And I am very keen on the idea of games that can be introduced to people very quickly in just 1-2 afternoons of reading and it's done. The premise of the game is also quite interesting. After the Cold War, the Mother Russia dismantled a number of facilities where eldritch horrors have been studied and some forces have been unleashed upon the world. And you're going to be part of a number, very small number of organizations that actually go against those kind of powers, or you want to investigate them. The premise itself is good. I like it, I think, a lot, because it has a huge amount of potential. The book in itself is not bad at all. If you haven't seen the unbooking video, the previous review I made, you wouldn't know that this is quite well done, and the only few little niggles I have with it is that some of the illustrations should be a lot bigger to give a better understanding, a better visual appeal to the whole thing. And from the layout point of view, they do change the words, mid-syllable sometimes, and that irks me at home. That's just a preference. I don't like words being truncated if it's at all possible not to do it. This book truly has almost anything you need in order to play the game. You have the rules, which is a very simple D20 system. You have your character creation, which is aided by the fact that you're going to belong only to 3 different organizations, which is going to be Integrated General, the Society of the Black Sun, and the Fraternanza delle Bestie. The 3 organizations are actually quite fledged, and they are believable, except the Fraternanza delle Bestie. Why? Because Fratellanza di Bestie, that's Italian, but it's meant to be in Paris. Also, there is a reference to Romani gypsy people. You needed a sensitivity editor because, even though I am not at all offended by the use of the word gypsy, because that's the word we use in Spain and I am part gypsy. Excuse me, that's my dog creating a mess. I will be right back. A lot of people could be offended by that, and this is something that's going to draw a huge amount of criticism. After that as well, the fact that all this shamanism, all this bestiality, all this connection to the natural world, please don't. Seriously, do not use that sort of background on Roma people. Don't. All this, nomadic, carefree. Seriously, people, don't. Just don't. Okay, those things happen because we were driven away from place to place rather than because we didn't want to be someplace else, which is why sometimes we are no nomadic anymore. So, and all this connection with nature and everything, anybody can have it. So, stereotypes, bad. That irked me an awful lot. That particular part of the book needs a sensitivity editor right away. Right away. But, okay. It's not something that puts me off the whole thing, but it's something that you need to think about for future books. Because it doesn't seem to have been done with any kind of malice. So I'm not going to, I'm not going to speak badly about it, but it needs some work. Choosing your skills is quite easy, which is very good. Take or stop it, please, thank you. Sorry about that. You have some sanity, which is also okay, even though it requires a bit more in-depth and development. And the book comes with a bestiary and some artifacts. Now, I'm going to talk about them because this is where this book kind of falls apart a little bit, and where, even though it's meant to have everything you need, you're going to need an awful lot of common sense and a little bit of experience to run these adventures properly and use these creatures wisely. Why do I say that? Because, for example, if we look into the creatures, which are here, there are an awful lot of them that are described as nearly impossible to kill, and yet, like this shadow puppet, it's only got 2 HP. And it's level 1 menace. And it's now too impossible to kill? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Then there are things like here with this Aklaran, that is this that? Is that showing this? Is this what's meant to be? Because there's no real description. It goes straight onto the skills. And it's adaptative and it has a manifestation, but it doesn't tell you what it is. And then from the layout point of view, it's a bit here and there. So it needs development. It needs more illustrations so you can have a better idea as to what they are. And they need to think about what is it really that these creatures are meant to be? Are they meant to be that hard? Is it? It doesn't make. Fortunately, they are imminently destructible. Sorry, is that what I mean? Is the one. Few victims survive the creature's attentions. It's a 1 HP. This doppelganger is a 1 HP. It's a level 2 menace. That doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. So if you're going to play with these creatures, which are very cool, that's the thing, that these creatures are absolutely excellent, and I love them. I really like them. But mechanically speaking, this needs a little bit more development. The artifacts are brilliant. I really, really enjoyed it, even though they suffer from something very similar. But the idea of having some, the disembodied guide was absolutely brilliant. I really liked it. This armor of Kamchatka is fantastic. There's a lot of very, very cool things in here, but it needs a little bit more development to it. The adventure is okay. It's a good introductory adventure. There's nothing to, throw fireworks about, but it will give you everything you need to play the adventure, which is very nice. But again, you need a little bit of experience. Do I think this is worth it? If you are a newcomer to role-playing games, this may be a little bit confusing and you are expected to do some work that may be hard to do. If you are an experienced, horror RPGer, and you want something quick that you can take to a convention to do a one-off, to one-shot, and you can prepare quickly, or simply you've played fantasy all the time or science fiction all the time and want something more horrific, then this is a very, very good addition to your library. And I would recommend it, with the caveat that you're gonna have to do a fair amount of work to make it fully playable. But this, with a little bit more development, change the format. You don't need to have this large format. Use an A5 and make it bigger, more visually appealing. And Nightscape Red Terrace could be absolutely perfect. If I had to give a score to this, I would probably give it a 3 stars out of 5 rather than more. But this could easily become a 5-star in my book. So yeah, with the caveats I mentioned, this book is recommended. Thank you very much indeed for watching. It is truly genuinely appreciated. By all means, do leave me your comments, and Taiko and I will be back very soon for more RPG goodness. But until then, take care.